In the town of Verona, if you've heard the news of the Capulets and the Montagues, they stud their stuff, these muckety-mucks, and designer threads that cost big, big bucks. They hated each other, did these families, you could say they were lifelong enemies. Now the leading man, you will soon know, was the Montague son named Romeo. He was slim and young, a stud supreme, ready for action and loaded with steam. Let's listen up good to Romeo as he raps with his pal Mercutio.
Mercutio, buddy, I could use some kicks. Let's get together with the local chicks.
Pal Romeo, that's nothing new. You're looking for love like you always do.
You could say that I'm the romantic type. Better grab the peach while the peach is ripe.
There's a party tonight, a super bash. Just the kind of bash we should crash.
Sounds cool. It does. It should be a blast. Just tell me where, and I'll get there fast.
At the Capulet's house, which is not good news. 'Cause they ain't too fond of Montagues.
I agree that it's not a friendly place. I'll just wear a mask and hide my face.
Romeo, he's no ding-a-ling, and he crashes the party and does his thing. Once he gets inside, he cruises the place behind his mask which hides his face. He keeps it cool till a chick he spots, for whom he instantly has the hots. But Romeo, he doesn't know it yet, that it's Juliet, and she's a Capulet.
Hi there, honey. You're out of sight. You're the foxiest chick I've met tonight.
Well, thanks so much, you gorgeous hunk. I think my heart just went kerplunk.
Kerplunk.
You're a dude with class, and I can tell we can get together real well.
I feel the vibes. We just can't miss. Let's seal it, baby, with a kiss.
I like your lips, oh yeah, indeed. I dig a guy who moves with speed. But honey, before we go too far, shouldn't I know just who you are?
No need for names and all that stuff. We're hanging off, and that's enough.
They clinch and separate, they get the news that seals their fate. Juliet finally gets a clue that Romeo's a hated Montague. As for Romeo, when he's most upset, he finds out that Juliet's a Capulet. But to them, it's just a technicality. After all, they've got all this chemistry. They're hooked for good, they're both in heat. They may get tricked, but what a treat. Soon Romeo spills, but he can't forget how he feels when he's close to Juliet. And later that night, who does he see but Juliet on her balcony?
Man, I can't believe I have to climb this stupid thing. Juliet, baby, you're chill, you're rad. For your beautiful bod, I've got it bad.
Oh, Romeo, honey, I'm gone, I'm shook. I can hardly wait until we cook.
The same here, sweetie, but don't forget, I'm a Montague and you're a Capulet. Both families hate each other's guts, but without you, baby, I'd surely go nuts.
If it busts their chops, they can all choke. I'm yours for keep, as I ain't blowing smoke.
You know that our folks will flip their lids. After all, we're just two teenage kids. I'm hot for you and you're hot for me. So we've got to get hitched in secrecy. Tomorrow to Friar Lawrence we'll go, and he'll make you Mrs. Romeo. That is, if the notion appeals to you.
You'll know that it does when I say I do.
Friar Lawrence is a real cool guy, and he marries the couple on the sly. He gives his word that nobody will know that Juliet read Romeo.
Later that day, who does Romeo meet but Mercutio on a local street? They shoot the breeze and have a good schmooze, but they ain't prepared for some real bad news. 'Cause coming along is a nasty dude with the most bodacious attitude. His name is Tybalt and he's mean as they get. And what makes matters worse, he's a Capulet.
Hey Romeo, you Montague nerd, you're the prince of wimps from what I have heard.
Don't front me, Tybalt. Better stash your sword. You either half smashed or out of your gourd.
Get off my turf, you Montague zits, or I'll slice you up into little bits.
This gets a rise from Mercutio, who stands up for his buddy Romeo. He won't let anyone wax his chum, especially Tybalt, that creepy bum. They draw their swords, and both their goals is to fill the other guy with holes. But Romeo says this isn't right, and stands between them to stop the fight. But sneaky Tybalt, in a flash, zaps Mercutio with an awful gash.
Romeo, buddy, he's got me good. How come you stood where you shouldn't have stood?
I was hoping that I could stop the fight.
Well, I'm bleeding to death, so you stopped it all right. So long, old buddy. But before I go, there's a piece of news that you should know. I ain't a Capulet or a Montague, so hear me good when I'm telling you. If you want your chums to stay alive, dude, don't get them involved in a family feud.
Romeo is now mad as hell. His buddy's been waxed, which doesn't sit well. He draws his sword and pulls up his tights and goes after Tybalt to put out his lights. Though Tybalt's a snake, a lousy swine, a duel with Romeo suits him fine. But Romeo's nose is out of joint, and he waxes Tybalt, who gets the point. Once he knocks off Tybalt, poor Romeo has to look for a fast place to go. He splits the scene and dashed off to stay with Friar Lawrence, who hides him away. Let's take a look at Juliet, who's heard the bad news and is in a sweat.
I should be a happy young newlywed, but Tybalt was my cousin, and now he's dead. What's even worse is the news, that the guy who killed him was Romeo. Sure, Romeo fills my heart with thrills, but how can you live with a guy who kills? I tell you, sister, this ain't no lie. The way I'm feeling, I'd like to die.
As for Romeo, who's on the lam, he knows he's in a most dreadful jam.
Man, why do I have to keep climbing this stupid thing? I should be a happy young newlywed, but my pal Mercutio now is dead. What's even worse, I can't forget that I waxed my cousin Juliet. It's a bummer, believe me, when you try to exist and you're on the most wanted list. I tell you, brother, when all is said, the way I'm feeling, I'd rather be dead.
But they soon bounce back from feeling sad, because they're still hung up on each other real bad. So Romeo shrugs off his gloom and climbs the wall into Juliet's room. One look at him, and her gloom's gone too, as he stays the night while they pitch some woo. They have a ball, but you can bet that their troubles aren't quite over yet. After Romeo splits, poor Juliet meets her papa, old man Capulet. He tells her, "Julie, I'm thinking today that you ought to get hitched, and right away." This piece of news lays Juliet low, because she's already married Romeo. She's stressed out bad, and singing the blues when she tells Friar Lawrence the awful news.
Friar Lawrence, I'm in a terrible state. Papa wants Paris to be my mate. But I can't do that. As anyone can see, if I marry Paris, it's bigamy.
Now, Juliet, don't have a cow. I have a clever plan that'll work right now. I've prepared a special drug for you. You could call it a far-out miracle brew. You'll take one gulp and fall in a faint. Folks will think you're dead, but you really ain't. You'll be laid to rest, but then you'll revive, and you'll feel real happy because you're alive. Then you'll split this town, and off you'll go, just you and your hubby, Romeo. Well, Juliet swallows that crazy drug, which knocks her out till she's flat as a rug. She's put in a tomb, because her folks never guessed that she wasn't really dead, but just getting a rest. She'll wake up, of course, in a day or so, and run off with her husband, Romeo. There's just one problem that lies ahead. Poor Romeo hears that Juliet's dead. He opens the tomb for one final look, and you gotta know that she's really shook. When he sees the body of his beautiful chick, he swallows some poison that kills him quick. He's lying there cold, no longer alive, when Juliet begins to finally revive. She looks around, and what does she see but Romeo, as dead as can be. With him not around, what good is life? So she stabs herself with a suicide knife. With both of them dead, it's not good for the Capulets and the Montagues. They're sobbing and weeping, and they're all unglued. When they see the result of their family feud, they know in their hearts that they've been all wrong, so they promise each other to get along. Though they'll have to do it, they all regret without Romeo or Juliet.